Welcome to Strange Loop Chats. I'm Alex Miller, creator of the Strange Loop Conference. This is an ongoing series where we catch up with previous speakers and other people around the Strange Loop universe. Today we have África Periañez, who's did a talk in 2019 at Strange Loop called From Video Games to Fashion, a Machine Learning Journey. And we'll probably talk to her a little bit about that. And then I want to talk to her about her new company that she's at called Benshi. So welcome, África.
Thank you.
Your talk at Strange Loop was kind of a personal journey of a lot of different projects that you've worked on. And it sort of started from your science work at CERN and then German Weather Service and weather satellite prediction things, and then working at a few gaming companies, and then on to fashion. So that's a lot of different kinds of things. What's similar about all of those kinds of projects?
So, well, indeed, this is very interesting. So, well, for more than I think 16 years now, I've been working in machine learning and data science in different aspects. So it was in when I was working in Germany in numerical weather prediction in the German Weather Service, where I learned how to put models in production in a way that they are fully operational and real applications can depend on those predictions. In this way, it's like well, flights fly because of the numerical weather prediction system of the operational in many countries. So. So this is, well, I was working there with satellite data for a while, and then I moved to Japan to continue working with satellite logs. And there I realized that this kind of operational settings, this kind of platforms are not available in most of the industries. Okay, so many industries rely still in traditional data science, and that they're basically based on reports, on data scientists explaining results to different business or leaders or stakeholders. But why not start putting this kind of operational machine learning platforms with scientific running systematically? So I was in Japan, and I started working in the video game industry. I realized that, well, in video game industry was still in infancy regarding machine learning, and that also they have probably one of the best data sets in terms of behavioral user logs. And this is why I started this project, Yokozuna Data, which was a spin-off of Silicon Graphics. And there we started building models with the logs of the players of their company, and then we built a machine learning platform ready to start ingesting logs from other multiple kind of games. So at the end we end up with a robust machine learning platform that's able to predict at individual level what are the rewards to give to every user, which kind of content will be more suitable for every person, and be able to engage them more into the game and to build better games at the end. Mm-hmm. This is what was probably one of the main pieces. Then I moved to fashion retailing, where they are also trying to improve, of course, in many ways, supply chains, sales, etc., with data science, but also they want to improve the engagement of their users in online sales with components of games. Okay, so game design elements that that at the end are able to create motivation in the users and to engage them more on the apps. So yeah, so what has in common? I can say there are two things. One is the platform itself, putting models in production. So it's something that myself with my team we are good at. So when I do these moves in my career, I was moving with part of my team that I was from I have since from Tokyo. So then we moved to Inditex, one of the largest fashion retailing organization, and it was when I was there when I started conversations with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to build a similar operational machine learning platform to transfer state-of-the-art personalization and behavioral machine learning to improve global health outcomes. So at the end is taking the best of being able to understand user motivations, behaviors at the individual level in a platform, and to be able to incentivize to nudge behavior towards different outcomes.
So who's better at making predictions, people or algorithms?
Oh, wow. That's a very good question. I would say algorithms. So definitely. So how is this sentence? I think it was Amos Tversky who said, "Man is a deterministic device thrown into a probabilistic universe." So we are very bad doing predictions. We are not able to. Our brain is not able to generalize well enough. We are extremely biased, and what is worse of everything is that we feel we are not. So that make us in many times, and I realize of myself, of course I have the same way of thinking as everyone else, that take wrong decisions. So if you have a well-trained algorithm, use it.
So we're very confident in making very poor decisions or very poor predictions.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, of course there are there's people with a very deep knowledge that are able to of course make predictions, but have data-driven database decision, informed decisions is crucial to remove our biases and to be able to generalize well enough to be able to foresee objectively what is going to come.
So now you're at this new company called Benshi. Could you just explain a little bit about what that is and how it continues this kind of thing in a new direction?
Yeah, so yeah, benshi is born together with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So I was working in fashion retailing, machine learning platforms, users, online users, etc. And well, we started conversations in last year to see how we can work together to bring these kind of technologies to help in global health outcomes to the most underserved communities. So what is the goal? The goal is to use those logs that are generated by telemedicine online learning apps and be able to use this connection that there is between patient and care team frontline workers to be able to provide information in both sides to improve the quality of the healthcare service. So so what we try to do at the end is a better app, an app that that is used. So the idea is to be able to transfer those techniques that are common in big tech companies, but bring them to this goal.
So the app is used by the people needing healthcare or by healthcare workers?
So those apps are used in most of the low and middle income countries. So in different ways and for different purposes. So there are apps that we are working with for midwives, for instance, that help them in terms of online learning to improve their knowledge. Or others apps are just for pure diagnosis and to support the moment of the delivery and before and after as well. So also any app that the patient has to follow up treatments, apps that they are related with telemedicine, with diagnosis and prevention of diseases, etc. So because of the ratio between doctor and patient in low income countries is very low, So these kind of hubs are more spread that even than in rich countries. So so at the end we end up with a lot of logs that bring a lot of information that can be very helpful to help them, to help mainly frontline workers, but also patients, and at the end nudge behavior towards prevention of diseases, improvement of the treatment, and at the end improve wellness in general. And we believe that the impact of this application can be tremendous in management of any diseases, epidemiological diseases, supply chains of also of pharmaceutical products, etc.
And so a lot of, I mean, I know there's a lot of concern these days about bias in models and things like that. What do you do to control for that?
For having models and bias and yeah. So this is a very good question and it's very important. Well, I think that probably the most crucial piece is having a diverse team. So that's all about when you have most of the communities represented in your team, mainly when you are talking about data scientists, they realize of things that otherwise you never think of. And at the end, those models are built by humans. So they're going to data scientists are going to do checkups. If, for instance, if the data are biased, that maybe if only one type of data scientists are building the models that maybe never think to do. So to start with, the bias in the models, the bias in the data. So this is what we are trying to do. We are trying to build a diverse team where we are able to attract African talent, all kind of diverse or different countries, mix also interdisciplinarity in terms of disciplines. So we have theoretical statisticians, computer science, data scientists, other kind of engineers. Data scientists are coming from the healthcare side, from public health. So all mixed together, which is challenging, okay, because diversity is very it's trendy now. But of course, at the end, you're mixing many cultures, and sometimes communication is tough. But first, the effort is worthy because you build better products, and second, in our case, is crucial because we need to be very close to the communities we are working with, and we cannot permit ourselves to have biased models.
So how'd you get involved with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation?
I know them. I met some part of the team in the past when I was working in the video game industry. Um, so they know about our work in terms of building um, personalized predictions, recommendations, put them in production, be able to provide with this information on real time, also to create interventions, incentives, and how to motivate users. So that is something that called the attention of certain people, and then they were looking for potential partners to build this kind of platforms, of systems, and yeah, so that was probably the connection between um, yeah, our background in video games and building platforms together with we can bring to the healthcare side.
So you talked about several different algorithms that you've used in your talk and a couple years ago. What's the state of the art these days? Are those still relevant algorithms and techniques, or are there new approaches coming out, or what?
Definitely. So now that we are starting from zero, oh my God, how difficult is that? I forgot. Yes, there are some models that we will still use, that they are very robust and we tested so many times that we feel very comfortable. And based on that, maybe we are growing in new state of the art incrementally. So all related with behavioral machine learning, sequential time series analysis, time series prediction. Because at the end, when we are talking about behavioral machine learning, we are talking about how how behavior changes in time. Okay, that's the most important thing. How certain interventions can make change behavior, change habits, change actions. So this is the kind of algorithms that we are specialized ourselves. So yes, some of them we still use. So what we are moving now towards probably more sophistication is in the side of experimentation. So because at the end, what we are doing with the machine learning models is targeting users. Okay, targeting those people that those patients that maybe are going to suffer certain kind of diseases in the future, those patients that they are more likely don't follow the treatment, those patients or even those users of the app that maybe stop using it because they're not engaging enough for them. So then we are going to lose the connection. So we won't be able to provide with diagnosis or certain kind of recommendations. So in this way, okay, so we are able to predict and to know what is the right time to target those users. But this is what we are doing, targeting with machine learning models, but then with the experimentation engine that we are building, so we are able to effectively measure what is the impact we are having with the different actions to those people that we are targeting. So we are moving towards more advanced technologies like micro-randomized trials or contextual bandits experiments or reinforcement learning. So these are the kind of technologies that we are implementing and putting together with the results of the machine learning models and put all these pieces together. Okay, so it requires a lot of good decisions. Okay, so it's challenging piece by piece, but the most challenging is like be able to build this platform in a way that works well and works smoothly, able to provide real time feedback, etc. So yeah, so this is what we are doing right now.
I could definitely see how they sort of using the models to predict behavior, and then you're trying to influence that behavior to get people to do things that'll help them and things like that. I could definitely see the ties back to the video game industry and what they're trying to do, although maybe for better purposes than purely monetary purposes. Um, so does how does that, like, when you, so that there is kind of a feedback cycle there though, that you're tracking data and then using that to try to nudge people's behavior into better into different um, directions, and then that obviously feeds then back into what you're seeing. So that, is that something you have to worry about, or is that something that's just taken care of naturally by having the models or things like that?
So first of all, we of course follow the principle of no harm. Okay, so that's that we prefer don't say anything if there is any risk of that can cause some harm. But ourselves, we are the providers of machine learning models, of platforms, centralized repository of models, of data, etc. But we are working with partners. Okay, so we are a non-profit, but we don't have clients, we have partners. So at the end, we connect with different kinds of apps, and we work together towards the end that of course they are the ones who knows the field definitely better than us. So they are medical doctors. They are very well knowledgeable of the field we are working with. I mean, working with. So. So we of course are sure that the goal that we are implementing together, okay, is the right goal. So this is not something that ourselves we can judge, and we don't want to do it. So, but in any case, of course, no harm principle wins. That's for sure. And also an important piece that of the platform we are building is that is transparency. So in every moment, all our partners are able to see all kind of validations, explainable models of the features, the importance all what we are working with, they have access. So there's full transparency on that side, and also in the communication of the results. So a part of course, APIs or SDKs that connect with every server or every user, depends on the case. So they will have access also to the summary of how many models are in production, when we are shifting for an update or just a better algorithm, even how was the performance of both, putting them in parallel for A, running with this model, B, running with this other one, what is the success rate, etc. So so that's the way that that first, to gain trust of our partners, because they are the first that if they're not sure, they're not going to give this a step forward. And second, to be able to assure that our predictions, recommendations don't diverge and they're not anything, doing anything that is strange.
So where does the benshi name come from?
So, well, as ourselves, our team, the core team, no, because now we are growing and of course adding new members. But we start working together in Japan, so we still wanted to use a Japanese name. So we use benshi because benshi was a was a profession that exists in all Japan when the movies had no sound. They had only subtitles. Most of the Japanese were not able to read. So then they went to the cinema and they were a person that was explaining for those that didn't know how to read what was going on in the film. So so this is what we try to do. Okay, we try to put some light. We try to explain what the data are saying to be able that the rest understand what is going on the servers.
That's a good name.
Thank you.
Well, I think that this sounds fascinating, and it would be great to have you back at Strange Loop at some point in the future to talk about what you're doing and outcomes you're seeing and things like that. So thanks so much for chatting with me today. And is there anything else you want to share, or anything you want to else you want to share before we leave?
No, thank you very much, Alex. It will be a pleasure to speak again in Strange Loop, and I hope you hear more of us very soon.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Alex.